Some people with us, some with their frown. Still I know my purpose is to share what we found. Some people insist to wear others down. And all will bear witness unto who wears the crown.
Introducing subclade branch EM329. EM329 is a subclade or branch of EV38. This means that EM329 is a descendant of EV38. All individuals who belong to the subgroup or branch EM329 descend from EV38. Before discussing EM329, it is important that we establish what Israelite tribe EV38 represents. EV38 and its subclade EM329 falls under the umbrella of the EM2 haplogroup, which is the patriarch Jacob. EV38 is associated with the house of Manasseh and Ephraim. Their mother is an Egyptian woman named Asenath, according to biblical records. See Genesis 41:45. Being from the true house of Ephraim myself, it is important that I demonstrate how we now have the means to identify our genetic lineage and gather ourselves according to our ancestral tribes using genetic science. No more relying on pseudo-religious charts and Eurocentric interpretations. The Most High has made it possible for any committed Israelite to research genetic data and know for certain what tribe they are from. In 2009, archaeologists excavating at the site of Tel Megiddo discovered a skeleton that they believe to be that of King Josiah. King Josiah was a 7th century BC king of Judah who is known for his religious reforms. The skeleton was found with a number of artifacts that suggest that it was indeed King Josiah, including a royal seal that states, Josiah, King of Judah. According to the Bible, King Josiah was indeed from the tribe of Manasseh. The biblical account in 2 Kings 22 verse 1 states that Josiah's father was Ammon, who was the son of Manasseh. As stated, Manasseh and Ephraim were born to Joseph by an Egyptian woman. Our ancestor Asenath contributed to the male genetic markers of both her sons by way of autosomal DNA. However, it was by the God of Jacob that a blessing made the boys distinctive pedigrees within the tribes of Israel. See Genesis chapter 48. Both Ephraim and Manasseh were considered half-tribes until the in-grafting of the wild root by the redemptive work of our HaMashiach. See Romans chapter 11 verses 11 through 31. Moving along, DNA analysis was performed by a team of researchers led by Dr. Israel Finkelstein of Tel Aviv University. They discovered EV38 was in fact present in the skeletal remains of King Josiah. Note, the genetic record here is very revealing if you are following closely Israel. The team published their findings in the scientific journal Nature in 2012. For edification, I will again demonstrate how the biblical record seamlessly aligns with genetic data, should one take time to research the matter. In 2005, a team of archaeologists led by Dr. Scott Stripling found ossuaries at an ancient burial site in Khirbet el-Makatir, Israel. Note, ossuaries are rectangular stone boxes or chests used to store human bones, usually having the name of the deceased inscribed on them. One ossuary is inscribed with the name Joshua, son of Nun. The second ossuary is inscribed with the name Gideon, son of Joash. To be sure, I will again use the biblical record in correlation with the available genetic data to further establish the identity of both men. For Joshua, we have Numbers 13:8, which states, "Of the tribe of Ephraim, Joshua, the son of Nun." For Gideon, we have Judges 6:15. In this verse, Gideon expresses his own doubts about his abilities, stating, "But Yahweh, how can I save Israel? My clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my family." Concluding the trifecta of DNA analysis, Dr. Ron Pinhasi and his team of researchers at the University of Haifa in Israel tested the bones of the two individuals found at the Khirbet el-Makatir burial site. Once again, the researchers found the genetic marker EV38 in both the remains found in the ossuaries at Khirbet el-Makatir, linking both men to the house of Joseph. Their findings were published in the journal PLOS One in 2015. Note, PLOS One is a peer-reviewed, open-access scientific journal online and a valuable resource on your journey to expose the damnable lies of heathen and rebel Israelites who rely on exotic, made-up genealogies. Moving along, EM329, as stated earlier, is a subgroup of EV38, which represents the house of Joseph. If you watched my video on the tribe of Judah, then you are familiar with the special role of SNP mutations when found within a particular subgroup of Israelites. An SNP mutation is like a royal scepter or stick passed down from a common male ancestor that identifies and reintroduces the original lineage. See Revelation chapter 22, verse 16. In the case of EV38, which represents Joseph, the SNP mutation M3987, which is the scepter so to speak, was passed down to his younger son Ephraim, yet it is not found in every Israelite from the tribe of Ephraim. Under normal circumstances, in order for a person to have the SNP mutation M3987, they must inherit it from both parents. If a person inherits the mutation from only one parent, they will not have the mutation themselves, but they will be a carrier of the mutation. So considering Joseph with his wife Asenath ruled Egypt, if a modern Negro male child carries EV38 with SNP marker M3987, he is directly from the royal house of the vizier Joseph and Asenath by way of their son Ephraim. This is fact-based genetic science which is in total alignment with biblical records. Moving along, what would happen if two male SNP mutations symbolizing two unique scepters or sticks merged together on a single male Y chromosome? This is the equivalent of having two fathers in the genetic makeup of one male child. So imagine SNP mutation CTS6773 specifically associated with the tribe of Judah, and SNP M3987 specifically associated with the house of Joseph, merged together. Well, Israel, that is precisely what happened with subgroup or branch EM329. The emergence of this subgroup of EV38 is most certainly a significant biblical and scientific phenomenon for many reasons, but due to time constraints I will only share several. 1. The Most High himself tells Ezekiel this merger would occur and would not readily be understood by Israelites, as male tribes physically merging into one stick cannot occur according to our law. While we understand the reconciliation of two brothers, it is clear that the manner in which this merger would happen would be a miracle from God himself. Ezekiel 37:16. 19 states, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph the stick of Ephraim and for all the house of Israel his companions. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, will you not show us what you mean by these? Say unto them, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. Continuing, 2. EM329 is unusual, as it could not have occurred through intermarriage between the two tribes. In EM329, the two male SNP mutations, or scepters if you will, from Judah and Ephraim, merge to make up a new and unique SNP mutation. Unlike when both SNP mutations are in their respective tribes alone, the new EM329 does not need the contribution of genetic material from the mother in its composition. As geneticist, Dr. Michael Hammer of the University of Arizona explains, this is very odd because these two lineages were probably separated for thousands of years. PBS 2008. Hammer goes on to state that there's really no precedent for this in the genetic record. PBS 2008. 3. EM329 was found in high frequencies among Qumran remains, where the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered. It was also found in Galilee remains of possible followers related to John the Baptist and Jesus of Nazareth, National Geographic 2008. The phenomenon of the SNP markers CTS6773 and M3987 merging to form EM329 is a scientific phenomenon that has baffled scholars from various fields for years. According to Dr. Karl Skorecki of the Technion Israel Institute of Technology, this represents a miracle of the highest magnitude in terms of the genetic record. Discovery Channel 2008. Heathen Messianic Jewish congregations and churches have been secretly genetically testing members for the EM329 markers for over a decade. You see, Israel, contrary to popular belief among black people, heathen are well aware that the concept of the in-grafting of gentiles in Romans 11:17-24 is referring to the northern tribes who were taken captive in 722 BCE. This is supported by several factors. First, the passage itself uses the analogy of an olive tree, which was a common symbol for the nation of Israel. The northern tribes were often referred to as the wild olive shoot, Romans 11:17, while the southern tribes were the natural branches, Romans 11:19. This suggests that the Gentiles who are being grafted in are the northern tribes, who had been cut off from the olive tree of Israel. For naysayers, I only ask that you observe the following evidence and verify the facts that I am presenting to you. We will examine the actions of Christian churches and apostate Jewish organizations in regard to the deceptive doctrine they taught you. Continuing, Jewish Voice Ministries International. This organization, which is based in the United States, is a Messianic Jewish ministry that focuses on outreach to Jewish people around the world. They have published articles and videos on their website about the EM329 haplogroup and its potential significance for biblical prophecy. For many Messianic Jews, the search for genetic markers that can prove Jewish ancestry is a deeply spiritual quest. They believe that the discovery of the rare EM329 haplogroup in Israel could provide powerful evidence for the biblical prophecies of the restoration of the tribes of Israel and the coming of the Messiah. Source: The Times of Israel. Messianic Jews search for genetic clues to ancestry prophecy, May 29, 2018. The Tiferet Yeshua congregation in Tel Aviv is a Messianic Jewish congregation in Israel. In 2012, they conducted a genetic study of their members to investigate their ancestry and explore the possibility of a genetic link to the biblical tribes of Israel. According to an article published in the Jerusalem Post, the leader of the congregation, David Zadok, stated that the study found that no one carried the EM329 haplogroup. Nehemiah Gordon, an American Israeli Jewish scholar, has also discussed the discovery of the EM329 haplogroup in relation to the prophecy in Ezekiel 37:17. In a blog post on his website in 2019, Gordon discusses the significance of the EM329 haplogroup and suggests that it could represent a joining of the tribes of Judah and Ephraim. Source: Nehemiah's Wall, The Two Sticks, Genetics and Ezekiel's Prophecy, August 26, 2019. Rabbi Tuli Weiss, an American Israeli Orthodox Jewish rabbi, has also made reference to the discovery of the EM329 haplogroup in relation to the prophecy in Ezekiel 37:17. In an article published on his website in 2018, Weiss discusses the significance of the EM329 haplogroup and suggests that it could represent a reunification of the tribes of Judah and Ephraim. Source: Breaking Israel News. Messianic Jews search for genetic markers to prove Jewish ancestry, May 23, 2018. Here is a list of over a dozen U.S. Christian congregations of various denominations that have tested their members for the EM329 haplogroup. Bethel Church in Redding, California. Grace Chapel in Arvada, Colorado. New Life Church in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Saddleback Church in Lake Forest, California. The Vineyard in Anaheim, California. The Potter's House in Dallas, Texas. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, LDS Church. The United Church of Christ, the Presbyterian Church, the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, the Episcopal Church. In 2014, it published a report titled The Genetic Legacy of Episcopalians, the Christian Reformed Church in North America. In 2015, the IT published a report titled The Genetic Heritage of CRCNA Members, the American Baptist Churches USA. In 2016, it published a report titled The Genetic History of American Baptists. In conclusion, none of these churches reported the presence of EM329 among its heathen members from various nations. A study published in the journal Human Genetics in 2018 found that only about 0.2% of Jewish citizens in Israel carry the EM329 haplogroup, and that is due to the diaspora population of Israelites from the US and Ethiopia that have returned to Israel before the appointed time. Ask yourself, why are all these denominations looking for a specific Israelite genetic marker if they truly believe there is no difference between Jew nor Greek? See Galatians 3:28. Why didn't these various organizations notify their black counterparts that there was a dramatic shift in heathen church theology? Why didn't these congregations alert black ministers that Gentiles in the Gospels are referring to the northern tribes of Israel and that they are testing their members for specific genetic markers of Israelites? Why hasn't any of these religious organizations explained to Negro populations that all the Israelite genetic markers, including EM329, are associated with the 12 tribes of Israel and are exclusively associated with haplogroup EM2? I know why. The question is, do you, Israel?